Hello witches, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build here on my channel. Today is sort of a viewer suggestion. This is a underground bunker, so I can't exactly remember what the suggestion said, but I really wanted to build something that was sort of cyberpunk inspired, as in the video game Cyberpunk 2077. I have done a build like this, or a couple builds actually like this before, and I will leave those in the description as well as in the end screen and iCard and all that good stuff. But I am building in Evergreen Harbor today, and I wasn't intending on this to be one of the builds that goes in my save file, but I think it will be now, just because I don't know, it hit the bill for me. But this is actually built on the Caboose lot in the area of Port Promise, and this lot normally has a bar on it, but I used a live edit object. It's a debug object of a factory building. I shrank it down and I placed it on the front section of the lot, and it fit perfectly. It was like right up against the edge of the lot. It looked real. It looked like a factory that's just been there. And yeah, so I decided to make like a little underground basement section here that is just like a really rundown, very like higgledy-piggledy, like just a little bunker for someone to live in. And at first I was going to make it pretty trashy and pretty gross. Those are really fun to do. But as I was building, I just kind of developed an idea for the character that lived here. And I thought, you know, I could see him being a pretty well-cultured person, but at the same time, a very down-to-earth person. And I was like, you know, maybe he's just living here because he's trying to be a bit more eco-friendly, and this has just been here, and so he's like, you know what, I can make this work for me. As you can see, at first I was trying to make it look a little bit, you know, grungy and a little bit sus, but eventually I make it look pretty cool. I use these objects from Show Live Edit objects that came with Evergreen Harbor. It's these big yellow kind of frame bits, and they're much bigger than they are right now, and I think they're used at like the port itself, or like the factories, or I don't exactly remember which piece it is, but I shrank it down a couple times and I used it as kind of like an archway. I don't really know. I thought it looked kind of neat. Thankfully, it won't get in the way of your Sims playing in this, because I do believe that since it's a live edit object, they'll just like, you know, walk through it, which, you know, but you can see here the scaling of the truck and everything. It might not be entirely accurate because of, you know, you can see here the way that the garage door in the back of this quote unquote factory is a little small, but it's just for the vibes, okay? It's not functional. It doesn't matter. It's just vibey. But it was at this point I really started liking how it looked, and I was like, okay, this is a vibe. I'm into it. And I placed a couple of these planters. These also came with Evergreen or Eco Lifestyle. I kept on wanting to say Evergreen Lifestyle. That's silly me. But yeah, these are planters from, they're like hydroponic planters. And okay, so with this build, I would say a lot of the items that worked really well are items from of course, the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack, but also Werewolves, Strangerville, and the Journey to Batu pack. I know, don't hate me. You know what, listen, I'm just gonna put myself out there as a Journey to Batu apologist. Listen, I think it's fun, I think it's silly, I think it's charming, I think the items are kind of amazing, they're kind of lit. They kind of went off. They had that Disney money though, so you know they could. But it's pretty amazing. I placed the Two Spirits pride flag there as well. I just had the idea of what this guy looked like, or this person, what they looked like, and just like their story. And I don't know, like maybe they have family, maybe they just have, you know, they don't have children, but maybe they have like cousins and relatives that live nearby, and you know, they just, I don't know, there was just something I could see here, and maybe I'll make this sim for myself, but you know, maybe, hey, if you all are interested in seeing some Kaz videos, do let me know. I have been getting my feet wet wet with other types of content here on the channel lately. Am I entering my gameplay era? Possibly. But I actually recently uploaded a little, I guess the beginning of a small series or so of me playing The Sims 4 Get to Work. I can, definitely go check that out if you're interested in my gameplay videos, because I've been getting my feet wet with that. And of course, the Rags to Riches challenge. Of course, it's my ride or die. I love August and Jeffrey so much. I'm playing. It's basically a hard mode version of Rags to Riches, except it's wild. It's wild. Jeffrey Landgrab is involved. He's married to my sim August, and they're both just happy gay lovers, and it's a wonderful time. And yeah, whenever I do get the Growing Together expansion pack, it's gonna be so charming. There's gonna be family. It's gonna be heartwarming. Oh my god, I'm so excited. But yeah, in this build though, I do kind of go back and forth because I just could not really figure out the vibes I wanted, because you can see right now the vibes are kind of, grungy, like kind of dirty. And I was like, I don't know. I kind of want to make this a little bit cozy. I want to give it some life. I want to make it feel comfortable at the same time. Like, yes, it's a basement and it's underground and it's a bunker, and it's kind of, is it a bunker? I don't know. It's just a nice way of looking at it. But yeah, it kind of is a bunker, but it's nice. And honestly, something I wish I would have added is maybe like a fake kind of garden room, like a room that maybe like goes off from the main room and is an area where he can grow some plants. Not those kind of plants, but just actual plants. Like, maybe he wants to be self-sufficient, and I don't know. But is this really a bunker? I don't know, but I'm calling it that because it sounds nice. But yeah, I think it was at this point I was starting to place some items down, and I was like, the vibes aren't right. It just doesn't feel right, I felt like I was kind of struggling to push myself to build it because I wasn't really liking the style that I was going for. And I was like, I'll just keep going. And that's a tip with builders. If you are building something and it just doesn't feel right, you can just start over. You can just, delete your art. That's the, hashtag delete your art, If you're a Drawfee person, if you've seen Drawfee, one of their sayings is delete your art, because, they're super, like, if you're just like not feeling it with something that you're creating, anything that you're creating, it's okay to start over. It's okay to just get rid of it and move forward. Now, should you just keep doing that over and over? Probably not, because then you're never going to get anywhere with anything. But if you're just really not feeling it with something, it's okay to start over. I didn't really start over, but I did kind of refresh it in here because I do really like these archway bits. I think I get rid of the one that's going into the kitchen because I thought that it was a little bit much. But I really loved seeing the one in the bedroom for some reason. I don't know why. There was just something about him having to step into the bedroom. It just kind of separates it. I think that's why. And I love to think that maybe they hang stuff from it too. Maybe there's I should have done that. I should have put some of those beaded kind of wall decorations. They're supposed to be kind of like curtains, but they're not in the curtain category, which I think they should be in the curtain category, but they're like these beaded hanging wall things that I actually put behind the bed in a few minutes. But it'd be really cool to see those hanging from the frame thing there. And here I am changing the color of the lights throughout the build, or at least a few of them. I recommend that wholeheartedly. You can do this in normal gameplay without mods. You just have to go back into live mode and change the thing, the lighting color that way yourself. But if you are on PC and you can use mods, I recommend the Better Build by mod by Twisted Mexi. I always have that linked in the description, or at least I will this time, hopefully. But basically you can shift click an item while you're in build mode, and if it's like a light, if you shift click the light, it actually brings up that lighting, the color, basically, it brings up the UI that you get in normal gameplay, and you can change the color. And thankfully, he has expanded it so that there's a color wheel, so you can just go and do whatever color you want. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I definitely recommend it, and it really just makes it so much easier to make cozy and more full of character spaces, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making too much sense this morning. I actually just woke up probably not even an hour ago. I was like, you know what? I was going to just kind of put this off, but I was like, I'm in the mood. I really want to do a voiceover. And, it's morning, it's early. I'm still drinking my coffee. So forgive me if I'm a little bit rambly and a little bit deep voicey because, I am a man. I mean, I'm not a man. I identify as non-binary, but, I'm an AMAB. And, I'm very, I have a deep voice, I can go deep, but I don't really do that because that's just putting on. Anyways, but yeah, I put down this couch from the Eco Lifestyle Pack and I was like, ooh, I like this vibe. And then I put down this table from the movie Hangout stuff and I was like, ooh, I like this vibe. And it just kind of went from there. And that's where I started feeling like this was a bit more of a build like I wanted to build. I replaced the door, that weird door from Strangerville. I put this one from the Industrial Loft Kit. I never use this door because it's like an archway, but it's a door that's just open. And I was like, I can imagine him doing that. Just leaving it open, letting in some air because it is a basement. It's probably pretty, whatever. There's not really a lot of windows. So that's how they kind of get around, just like keeping it nice and flowy in there, I guess. The kitchen was the hardest part in this build, I think, to be honest. I don't know why. I couldn't pick out like a cabinet, cabinet countertop combo that just like worked for me. Nothing just felt right. I do go with the ones from the base game that are like those wooden industrial ones. I still think those are a little too nice for this build. I don't know what kind of cabinets would go down here. I really want some I know we have those base game ones that are like kind of plasticky looking, but I really want some that have like texture to them. I don't know. I'm just very picky and I have a specific vibe that I see that would work in this kitchen, but I think I made it work pretty well regardless. And I also do kind of adjust the layout in here just a little bit in a bit. Just because I thought, I want him to have a TV, of course. Why would I not put a TV in here? Just like a little TV from Evergreen or the Eco Lifestyle Pack. I'm going to keep saying Evergreen Harbor, but if I say that by accident, you know what I mean. It's Eco Lifestyle, but there is I guess it's a TV you can find, and it is like a little kind of retro TV, and oh my god, I love it so much. I use it so much in my builds because it's old school looking, and it's small, and it's cheap, so it's just, I don't know, it fits the vibes that I usually go for, and so I placed it here in the corner, and I did kind of reconfigure the space just a little bit so that it would make a little bit more sense. And I don't mind it, actually. It kind of looks good. It looks a little bit more random and a little bit more just kind of a little bit chaotic, but not in a bad way, of course. And I did place down a desk and a computer. This is mainly for gameplay's sake, because having computers makes it so much better. But I made sure to place down the really cheap one, the one that looks like a box. And for some reason in my head, I was like, this is just one of those like really old computers. Those really old white computers that we had in like elementary school in the computer lab. I'm 27, by the way. I'm almost 28. So, some of y'all will be like, yes, I agree. Some of y'all will be like, what are you talking about? We didn't have that kind of stuff in our time because you're much younger than me. And yeah, you're not almost 30. But I have been looking at the analytics, and apparently a lot of y'all are 25 to 34. And that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Just a tiny bit, I guess. But anyways, I digress. I just imagined it was one of those really blocky computers, and I low-key miss those. Those were a vibe, Like the keyboards just felt right. At least the one we had growing up. It wasn't white, the computer. It was actually black and silver, which was very fancy for its time, but it was essentially the same concept. The keyboard was just like, there was something about that keyboard. It just felt good. It was broken in. It was definitely broken in, but it just felt nice to type on. I low-key missed that old thing. But yeah, the kitchen looks pretty good. I think it looks nice. It fits in with the style and the colors and everything, and I think that's really the goal. But yeah, I added a little island here because I was like, he needs a coffee maker. I want a coffee maker in here. And the bathroom, let me tell you, when I got to this bathroom, I was like, this is not the vibe. I really wanted a skylight. I really wanted like a light well, just something to add some natural light in here, but there was nothing. You know what? I should have placed this somewhere else. I could have placed this in a spot where it was like next to that, what do you call it? I'm sorry, there's a pause here. I'm not editing it out. Oopsies. But I should have placed it where the outdoor area was, like kind of near it so that there could be a window, but what was me, I guess. But I do open it up a little bit in here. I get rid of the door and just make it like an archway with like a tarp going over it. You'll see me trying to do something here, but it doesn't really work out. But basically, there's this curtain from the Werewolves game pack that is like a tarp that it looks like it's just kind of like pinned up. And I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. That's like a good way to like cover up the space so that there's some privacy. If, somebody needs some, they need to go to the poop and they need to have a little bit of privacy, I can imagine he doesn't have very many visitors here because, he probably just keeps to himself. But yeah, I still think it looks pretty charming in here. I don't know. I'm really proud of this build. I actually really, really like it. For me, this is how I've always been. I'm just not a big family, like typical, like suburban home kind of builder. I do love me a good suburban home, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about building them for me that's just such a struggle. But builds like this, I just thrive in because they're the opposite of what I normally would live in, because I don't know if I can handle living in this, because this is like a chaos that I don't think I could handle very well, at least. I don't know. I'm pretty adaptable though, so I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's a nice little area. He has a nice little hangout space out front with some planters and everything, and a nice little kitchen. He's got a microwave and a coffee maker, and yeah, it's livable here. And I think that's why I like it so much, because it looks like they struggle, but they make do with what they've got, and they're happy. And I don't know. I also could have put a mirror in there, and I didn't put a mirror in the bathroom. That's sad. I should have put a mirror in the bathroom. That's the one thing you would need in a bathroom. Well, maybe not, but you know what I mean. Anyways, we are getting close to the end of this build. This is available on the Sims 4 gallery under my username, Luca Owens. That is LuccaOwens, as well as the hashtag Luca. That is LUCCA. And then, yeah, do let me know in the comments down below if you have any other build suggestions like this. Throw them at me. I'll write them down if it hits well. But yeah, that is pretty much everything. Thank you so very much for watching, and stay weird, and I'll speak to you all next time. Goodbye, witches.